Rain slices through the cold night like needles against glass. The wipers smear water across my windshield as headlights flicker off slick asphalt. I'm rounding a bend when I see her, small, soaked, barely moving, curled against the guardrail. At first I think she's a rag or a piece of debris. Then she lifts her head. I pull over before my mind catches up. My hazard lights flash in the darkness as I step out into the downpour. The wind hits like ice. She's shaking so hard I can see it from 10 feet away. She doesn't bark, doesn't growl. She just stares, wide-eyed, unblinking, not pleading, but watching. The kind of watch that's silent and resigned. The kind that's seen too much already. Hey there. My voice is barely a whisper against the storm. I kneel slowly, holding my hands low. No sudden moves. She doesn't back away. Closer now, I can see her fur is soaked and matted, clinging to a rail-thin frame. Her ears are upright but oddly tapered. She has the look of a puppy, but not quite. Something in the length of her muzzle, the slant of her amber eyes. Still, she's too small to be alone. Her ribs shift visibly beneath her skin. I shrug off my jacket and wrap it around her. She flinches at the touch but doesn't fight. No whimper. No struggle. I scoop her up gently, surprised by how light she is, barely more than a bag of groceries. She curls into my chest, shivering violently, her head tucked under my chin. The car's heater blasts as I place her on the passenger seat, bundled in fleece. I glance over. She doesn't move, doesn't lick, doesn't pant. She just watches me, calm, like the eye of a storm. I drive in silence, my mind's racing with questions I can't answer. Who left her there? Was she dumped? Born wild? I try not to let anger rise, not yet. Right now, I just need to get her warm. At home, I set down a towel and place her near the radiator. I offer water. She doesn't drink, just lies there, paws tucked beneath her, tail curled around her face. Only once does she make a sound. It's not a bark, not a whimper. It's a soft, almost keening sigh, like something that's been holding on just long enough to let go. I sit beside her and wait. She doesn't eat the kibble, sniffs it once, then walks away. I try soft chicken, cheese, even scrambled eggs. Nothing. The little creature who barely survived the storm now moves through my house like a whisper. She pads across the floor with careful, soundless steps, body low, gaze sharp. Not curious, calculating. She doesn't sniff the corners like dogs do. She studies them. I watch her pace the length of the living room, her tail held low, bushy, and far too long. It doesn't wag. It drapes, swinging side to side with eerie precision. She glances toward me but never approaches, always watching, always distant. I name her Willow. It feels right. Something soft, fragile, wild. She sleeps in a nest of old towels beside the radiator. When I check on her at night, her eyes are open, glinting, amber, alert. The first real sound she makes isn't a bark. It's a strange yowl pitched high and mournful. I hear it around 3 a.m., sharp as glass, cutting through my dreams. I bolt upright. She's by the window, front paws on the sill, head tilted upward toward the trees. The next morning, I text a photo of her to my sister. Rescued this little one. Think she's a husky mix? Her reply is instant. She looks off. You sure that's a dog? Other people say the same. My friend Mason visits, crouches beside her, then frowns. What's up with her eyes? That's not a dog face. I laugh it off, say she's probably part wild breed, something rare. But I've started to notice things too. She climbs instead of jumps. Balances on the armrest of the couch like a cat. Her nails click sharply across hardwood, more like claws than paws. And she never pants, never licks, never seeks affection. I try to get her to play, toss a toy, a ball of socks. She tilts her head but doesn't move, doesn't even blink. Still, she lets me near. That feels like something. At night, when the wind rattles the windows, She inches closer to the base of my bed. One morning, I wake to find her curled in a tight spiral at the foot, her fur rising and falling in slow rhythm. I don't dare move. I just watch her breathe. We fall into a pattern. Quiet meals, quiet steps, quiet stairs. She never makes a mess, never barks at the door, never howls again. But every few nights I catch her sitting in front of the window, watching the woods, ears twitching toward sounds I can't hear. I start to dream about her, running through tall grass, not as a pet, but as a shadow I can't quite follow. She doesn't act like a dog, but she isn't trying to be one either. She's just Willow. And even though I know something's not right, I let her stay, because a part of me is afraid of what I'll find out if I don't. The bell above the clinic door jingles softly as I step inside, arms wrapped tight around Willow. Her small body rests quietly in my hoodie, still, silent, but alert. Dr. Hansen greets us with her usual warm smile, clipboard in hand. "Let's take a look at your little one," she says. I nod, trying to smile back. Willow peeks out from my jacket, her nose twitching, her eyes scanning every corner of the room. The exam room smells like antiseptic and peanut butter treats. Willow doesn't react to either. I place her gently on the padded table. She sits, calm and composed, watching the vet approach. Hansen starts with soft touches, speaking in a soothing voice. "Such a good girl. How long have you had her?" "A little over a week," I say. "Found her on the roadside during a storm. Thought she was a puppy. Still think so, I guess." Her hands move over Willow's spine, her ribs. She frowns. "She's underweight," she murmurs, "but muscle tones strange. Long for a pup." She checks the ears, the eyes, the jaw, and then she stops. She gently parts Willow's lips and looks at her teeth. Her face changes just slightly, subtle enough that most wouldn't catch it. But I do. She glances at me, then back at Willow. She doesn't speak right away. "What is it?" I ask, trying to keep my voice even. I'll be right back." She disappears into the hallway. A minute passes, then two. Willow watches the door. When Dr. Hansen returns, she's not alone. A second vet, Dr. Patel, walks in beside her. No clipboard, just eyes already fixed on Willow. They approach together. Dr. Patel speaks first. "Where exactly did you find her?" "On Route 14, just outside the old quarry road. She was alone, freezing. Why?" Neither of them answers. Dr. Hansen kneels to eye level with Willow. "She's not a dog," she says softly. I laugh, but it catches in my throat. "What?" "She's a red fox, a kit, maybe 7 or 8 weeks old, female, definitely wild-born." The room tilts for a second. I blink. No, she follows me, sleeps at the foot of my bed. She doesn't act wild." "She imprinted on you," Dr. Patel explains gently. "Probably during a trauma event, separation, injury, near death. It's rare, but it happens. That silence, that stillness you noticed. It's survival behavior, not trust, not yet." My legs feel numb. I look at Willow. She stares back, same quiet gaze, same unblinking watchfulness. Only now I see it differently. Not devotion. Defense. "We'll need to notify Wildlife Services," Hansen adds. "She can't stay in a residential home. She's protected." "But she's mine." "No," she says with a kind sadness in her eyes. "She isn't." I sign the paperwork with a shaking hand. The pen barely scratches the page. My eyes won't stop drifting back to the carrier across the room, where Willow sits curled in the far corner, silent as ever. Her amber eyes flick toward me once, then shift away. She doesn't understand what's happening. Or maybe she does. The Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is 2 hours away. A quiet drive through hills and pine, the kind of terrain she should have come from, the kind she's meant for. The rescue van arrives in the morning. Tonight is our last night. I don't sleep. Instead, I lie awake, listening for every soft movement. Willow's curled in her usual place, at the foot of my bed, her breathing low and steady. She hasn't climbed to the window, hasn't howled. She's calm, trusting, and I feel like a thief. When the sun rises, I wrap her in the same jacket I found her in. It still smells like rain and cedar and something I've come to associate with her, wild and worn and wonderful. The officer who arrives to transport her is kind. Her name is Mara, and she speaks softly, patiently, as if she knows how hard this is. She'll be cared for, Mara says. The team specializes in fox kits, especially imprint cases. It won't be easy, but she has a chance. I nod. My throat won't let out anything more. As Mara opens the van, Willow stiffens, not in fear, more like hesitation. She glances back at me, ears flicking. I step closer, crouch low. "It's okay," I whisper. "Go on. You're going where you belong." I don't reach for her. I don't call her name. I just sit there, jacket in my lap, and watch. Eventually she walks in on her own. Days pass, then weeks. I get updates, short emails, clinical but kind. Willow is adjusting, appetite slow, pacing reduced, initial stress response normal, no vocalizations yet. I reread those lines at night, every night. I memorize them. I hate them. I visit once. The facility is open but controlled, hidden deep in a wooded reserve. They let me walk along the perimeter fence. Willow is inside a large enclosure, sharing space with another fox, smaller, redder, more traditionally wild in appearance. She moves differently now, less cautious, more fluid. She runs full speed across the grass, climbs, digs, leaps over rocks. When I call her name, she stops, looks up, and for a moment, just one breath-long beat, she stares through me, not at me. Then she turns and runs again, back into the brush. "She's doing well," Mara says beside me. I nod, tears blurring the wire fence. "She trusted me," I whisper. "She survived because of you," Mara replies. That night, I leave the porch light on anyway. Her bed is still by the radiator. The house is quieter now, but sometimes, when the wind picks up, I swear I hear her howl, and I hope she doesn't look back. Because I know if she did, I wouldn't be able to let her go again. The path to the enclosure is muddy from last night's rain. I visit quietly now. No advance calls, no expectations, just the hope of a glimpse. It's been 6 weeks since I let Willow go. The rehab staff greet me with nods. Mara meets me by the fence, clipboard tucked under one arm. "She's doing really well," she says, smiling. "No signs of stress, eating, grooming, bonded well with the others." Others. Willow isn't alone anymore. Inside the enclosure, the trees are alive with movement. A flash of rust-colored fur darts between brush, then another. I scan the shadows for her, and there, near the far edge, she appears. She's grown, taller, leaner. Her coat is cleaner, fuller now, no longer patchy from exposure. She moves like water over stone, light-footed and sure, every bit the wild thing she was always meant to be. She doesn't notice me at first. She's busy stalking something, creeping low through tall grass. Then she pauses, looks up. Our eyes meet across the space between the fence. 1 second, 2. She blinks. Her ears twitch. Then she turns and trots away without a sound. I should feel rejected. But I don't. Because that one moment, that pause, that look, was everything. Later, Mara walks me out to the forest boundary, where they eventually plan to release the foxes who've proven ready. "She's on the list," Mara says. 2 more weeks of monitored prep and then she'll be free." My chest tightens. "How do you know she's ready?" "She stopped waiting by the gate," Mara answers gently. "She stopped looking back." We walk in silence for a while. I reach the edge of the trees, the place they'll open when the time comes. It's dense, alive, unmarked by fences or roads, the kind of place a creature like Willow can disappear into and thrive. I kneel and press my hand to the earth. There's nothing here of her scent, no paw prints, no sign. But somehow I feel her everywhere. Back home I gather the last of her things, the little towel she once slept on, the makeshift collar she never wore, the jacket from the night I found her, still folded, still damp with memory. I don't throw them away. I pack them in a box labeled simply Willow. Not because I'm holding on, but because I want to remember. Not every animal we love is meant to stay. Some are just passing through, wild hearts caught in quiet storms, reminding us that love doesn't mean ownership, and rescue doesn't mean keeping. It means giving back what was never really ours. Sometimes at night, when the world is still, I open the window and listen. And when the wind howls through the trees, I wonder if she's out there. Not lost, not missing, but finally where she belongs, free. Not every rescue ends with a leash and a name tag. Sometimes it ends in silence, in open woods, in one last look before they vanish into the life they were meant for. Willow wasn't mine to keep, but she taught me something deeper than ownership. She taught me how to love without holding on. So if you've ever saved something wild or been saved by it in return, this story is for you. Please like, share, and subscribe if her journey moved you. Because the wild doesn't always cry for help. But sometimes it whispers, and when it does, we have a choice: to listen, to love, and to let go.